Hey, love, welcome back to another episode of Lessons from Behind My Chair. I'm your host, Angela B. Fuller, Master Hairstylist turned Certified Life Coach. Today, we have a very juicy topic lined up for you, and I am so excited to dive in. But before we do that, I have a pop question for you to get us started, to get us going. So let me dive into the pop question. The pop question is, do you ever get the urge to give an honest answer when someone says to you, "Good morning, how are you doing?" I know the first thing I say is, "Oh, I'm good." And I know that the minute I say, "Oh," I know I'm not good, because "oh" is like one of those fuller words. I know at least I use it as a fuller word when I'm not sure if I want to spill the whole beans. And second of all, there are times when it's not even enough morning in the mornings for me to tell you how I'm doing. Because sometimes it's rough. Sometimes it's an extension of the night before. Sometimes it's an extension of having a bad day at work the night before. Sometimes it's a response to an emergency that kept us up all night. And all of us are guilty of this. We blurt out, "Oh, I'm good," with the right tone, and we never really are comfortable enough telling the truth to that question. So my question is to you, why? Why, sis? My question is to you, how are you doing really? I know that when times are rough and we're not our best and life is lifing and it's not lifing in a positive direction for us, I know we have a tendency, at least I do, have a tendency to look for answers in 50,000 places. And to tell you the truth, most of what we find out from other people, be it through conversation, be it through reading a book, be it through finding answers on the internet, even podcasts, except this one. A lot of times where we find our answers, we get answers from people who are struggling themselves. There are so many places in which we can get information and tips and advice, but none of these solutions can help us if we avoid turning within and taking the time to self-examine the source of our pain, the source of our struggle, the source of our disconnect. And what I have found is that reflection is a powerful tool that will bring a whole bunch of stuff to the surface so that you can get to know yourself better and so that you can get to find out what you need to be better. And now, I never said that it was easy. Self-reflection has never been easy for me, but I found that when I do it, I get more clarity as to why my day or my week isn't flowing as I would like it to. I can remember a time in my life when I didn't know how to stop, how to pause, how to take assessment, how to sit on the couch and roll up with a blanket and try and figure out how can I get myself back to wholeness. You know, I have tried so many things, and I know I'm not alone in that. I've tried so many things to wheel myself back to wholeness. But what I have found is when I take time to stop, drop, and roll up in a blanket and pray and meditate and turn within, those were the times that kept me from spinning in circles. You know, that act of just quieting my mind and settle down helped me to feel less disconnected from my life. And I realized that I needed to have more of that in my life if I wanted to feel better on a more consistent basis. You know, it took a lot of shifting now. It didn't happen overnight. It took a lot of shifting and a lot of internal work for me to live my life by my definition. You know, I came to realize what was important to me and what was important to my well-being. You know, there are certain things that I thought defined me, and a lot of my definition came from what I believed and who I believe I should have been. Because I know a lot of times we get caught up in other people's expectations of us. But when I began to live my life and define who I was by my definition and by my terms, things just wasn't working out. You know, when I began to give myself permission to be me and to do me, my life became easier to manage and easier to enjoy. You know, I got to, and this is what I want you to consider. I got to know myself from the inside out. And I began to evolve into the person I was much happier to be with. I began to accept the many facets of me. And I think we all deserve that. We all deserve to get to know who we are, embrace who we are, and then get to enjoy that person. I began to get to know and accept the business Angie, the funny as all get out Angie, the storyteller in me. I got to love the storyteller in me. And I'm sure you all have that individual in you too. So get to know the many facets of you. And then learn to be okay with growing and learning. Learn to be okay with becoming more courageous. Learn to be okay with becoming a risk taker and a person who dives in without necessarily having to know all the answers before you take a leap. I have truly become, over the past 2 years, I've truly become that person who trusts the outcome before taking the first steps. Because so many times we remain stagnant because we are afraid to take the first step. But sometimes we got to leap without knowing what's on the other side. And then we've got to just trust what's on the other side. You know, I wanna inspire you to get to know yourself from your perspective. And if you view yourself in an unfavorable way, listen. You can begin to lay that down. Where you feel like there's a negative outlook when it comes to you, I want you to replace it with positivity. Where there is doubt, I want you to replace it with clarity and assurance. Where there is limiting beliefs, I want you to replace it with a powerful belief in yourself. And when someone asks you, how are you doing? Be okay to say, not too good today. Be okay to say, I had a rough night. Be okay in saying, I'm having a challenging morning or a challenging moment. It's okay, because what you're doing is telling the truth to yourself about yourself, as well as the truth to someone else about you. And I think sometimes when we are willing to admit and to be honest about how we're really doing, then everything goes to work in making it better for us. And remember, you can do anything you put your mind to. Now, go do it. Okay? I'll talk to you later. Bye. Mwah.